is Danielle Sperry. I met Mac and Diane when they were living out in Bon Aqua at a picnic, and when I brought my cello. When I started playing with Mac, it was sort of like I was going back thousands of years, and I found a kind of a soul brother who could just play music forever. And those were really incredible times, so I wanted to share a poem by Kabir, who was a poet from the 15th century. And I don't want you to get alarmed about the fact that I'm going to do a poem. I want you to think of it as a journey, and I'm going to give the ending away, because if you go on a journey, you need to know where you're going. So the last 3 lines of this poem are, the love between us goes back to the first humans. It cannot be annihilated. Kabir's idea is this: as the river pours itself into the ocean, what is inside me moves inside you. So this is going to be a little journey where you're gonna notice a lotus leaf floating on a river, and you're gonna notice an owl keeping its eyes open all night at the moon. But it starts with going inside a clay jug. This is Inside the Clay Jug by Kabir. Inside this clay jug, there are canyons and pine mountains, and the maker of canyons and pine mountains. All 7 oceans are inside, and hundreds of millions of stars. The acid that tests gold is there, and the one who judges jewels, and the music from the strings no one touches, and the source of all water. If you want the truth, I will give you the truth. Friend, listen. The God whom I love is inside. Why should we two ever want to part? Just as the leaf of the water rhubarb lives floating on the water, we live as the great one and the little one. As the owl opens its eyes all night to the moon, we live as the great one and the little one. The love between us goes goes back to the first humans. It cannot be annihilated. Kabir's idea is this. As the river gives itself into the ocean, what is inside me moves inside you. So, during those first few moments that turned into many, many moments, one of the things that Mac gave me was those beautiful soul harmonies, little pieces of soul that he just picked up and kept pulling into myself. And so I've composed now many pieces, and this piece is called Deep Inside and Over the Moonbow, and it, I noticed when I was listening to it, it's full of those pieces of soul, those soul harmonies that Mac has shared with all of us. So this is Deep Inside and Over the Moonbow.
Next, we'll have Oshina Gayden Sheehan, Mac's daughter.
I hope I don't forget the words or the chords or both, and if I do, just start cheering me on and we'll move on. My dad requested this song. Of course, he had a lot of directives before he went. Up in the morning, out on the job, work like a devil for my pay. But that lucky old sun ain't got nothing to do but roll around in heaven all day. Fuss with my woman, toil for my kids, sweat till I'm wrinkled and gray. But that lucky old sun ain't got nothing to do but roll around in heaven all day. Lord above, can't you see I'm crying? I got tears all in my eyes. Sit on that cloud with that silver lining. Take me up to paradise. Throw me that river. Take me across. Wash all my troubles away. That lucky old sun. I'll have nothing to do but roll around in heaven all day. Like that lucky old sun, I'll have nothing to do but roll around in heaven all day. Roll around in heaven all day. Roll around in heaven all day. This next one is called Reunion. This is one of my dad's songs. More like a poem, actually. Sorry. Flickering of the candle. Oh, God. branch, so wild and free, existing on wild berries and wild cherry trees. Over the ocean's water, across the dust and the sand, we have all been the four winds since this universe began. I have a few words to say. We're gonna get through this too. I'm Oshina Sheehan, Mac's youngest daughter. In the last few days, we have been able to hear stories about my dad, and they're usually associated with music, but I want to talk about my dad, the teacher. As I reflect on my life with him and in all the moments that come rushing in when someone passes, what appeared in those moments was not accidental, but intentional. We took a lot of road trips, We would drive across the entire country with a perfectly good atlas, but he would refuse to look at it. Often getting lost, taking twice as long, and stopping at every country store to ask directions, just because he wanted to. He was teaching us to be patient. He would take us to school in the most difficult car, whether that be the VW bus with rust holes in the side or the AMC Orange Hornet that may or may not break down in the parking lot. He was teaching us to be humble. We would arrive home or to dinner to find young artists struggling their way through the Nashville scene. We would eat and talk like family. He was teaching us to be kind and to serve others. He would make me pore through a dictionary or a thesaurus for as long as I could remember for every class project, paper, song I wrote until I found just the right one. He was teaching us to seek. When I couldn't figure out if I should be at the church or the ashram, he would say, "You will have to find your own way to your spirituality. Your mother and I won't tell you what to do." He was teaching us to stand on our own beliefs. When he would read to us Native American stories and tell the stories with such enthusiasm and wonder and drew you in, he was teaching us not to forget the roots of our ancestors. When he would send me to school with a tofu sandwich, when no one knew what that was, he was teaching us to stay weird. When he would pull you from the darkness somewhere you weren't supposed to be, he was teaching us to take care of ourselves. When we would walk in the woods and the mountains, but never a trail, he would walk and talk and taught me to machete my way through the brush. He was teaching us to blaze our own trail. When he would move us 4 times in one school year, he was teaching us to be flexible and be where you are. When I would be so nervous on the stage that I was sick, and he would say, "Feel your feet." He was teaching us to be present and one with this moment, and the next, and the next. When I grew up playing classical violin and I couldn't see the music if I wasn't reading it, he would say, "Just play." And with a smile that was so sarcastic and loving at the same time, he was teaching me to be free. And when he and my mom would sing sappy songs to each other as I watched from the back seat, he was teaching me in many ways that I am just a witness to their love story. When he would force us to sit in silence for hours, later I learned that this is when the music comes. He was teaching us to hold space for creativity. When he would say, "I'm not your dad, I'm your friend," it drove us absolutely crazy, especially when we needed him to be a dad, but he was letting us know that he would always be walking beside us, and he is. As he began to forget the notes, he was teaching us to be reverent for our gifts. As he struggled to play, he was teaching us to be grateful. As he transitioned from the stage to the audience, he invited us to step into joy. He knew he would not be on the physical plane of existence for much longer, so he began to teach us other things. There are things he said, and I know he would want them shared. I am standing in a field of flowers, slipping in and out of consciousness, and I want you to know that you're in my covenant. There is a stairway over there. Where does it go? Should I go down that road? Write this song. It's called this. Here's how it goes. Okay, I'm going to sleep. Look at the angels. Can you see them? I want you to write thank you notes to all my friends and thank them for being my friend. Start writing down these names. Go get a pen. I was floating above my body, and then I fell, and I was scared, but the landing was the softest and gentlest way. It was like an embrace. It was incredible. It was beautiful, and it was a cause for celebration, and I want you to tell everyone. And the days before he passed, we sang, we laughed, we cried, we fought, and he continued to say to us, grieve not for the dweller in the body. Not knowing where this came from, I started doing digging in the house and the books he would read, and those words are from the Bhagavad Gita. Grieve not for the dweller in the body, for the soul is eternal. There is never a time when we did not exist, and we will never cease to be. If you listen to the music or read his words, he was trying to teach us all to seek for our spiritual truth, and he is walking beside us as our friend forever. Jigger Dev.
Now I'd like to invite to the stage Tracy Nelson and Vicki Carrico to join Diane Davidson.
I'd like to go ahead and tell you a little bit about this first song. I met Mac when I was 16 years old, and we recorded an album together called Baby, because I was one. And on that album was this song written by John Drummond, who was also 16 years old. And we later wrote, Ain't Gonna Be Treated This Way Together. And Mac wanted this song, so I'm gonna do it. Life is a dream, and death is the hour you awaken. When you call in your songs and give back the ones you have taken, and the window gets hazy, you feel you can no longer see. It won't last forever. No, you can't dream forever. So you might as well be free, my friend. You might as well be free. When you open the window, smile at the morning so lightly. And you run out to greet all your friends, and your eyes shine so brightly. Well, the party is yours now. might as well be free, my friend. You might as well be free. You might as well be free. Mac and I shared many songs through many iterations. And he was constantly rewriting things, like John Drummond does that too, and it drives me crazy. So I just picked the version I like and stay with it, the hell with him. And I'm not sure when I learned this song. We were getting ready to go play some gigs in New York, and it was way back, you know, in the dark ages, and we spent a week up in a cabin up in Townsend with a sunken hearth, in a sunken hearth cabin with our feet over the edge, playing these songs, and I think that's when I learned this one. And I played this song. One of the reasons I love doing it is that I had very serious vocal cord surgery, and there was some possibility I wouldn't sing again. And I did a gig at the Exit Inn a few months after that surgery, and I did this song, and it was perfect for me. And I'm so glad to have these folks up here with me. Pack up the ponies, we're leaving. There's a bandit behind every tree. Got a fistful of fight, but I'm leaving tonight. This fight never set nobody free. Nobody's free. We drank sweet milk from a warm she-wolf's breast, and she kept us all through the night. We danced a jig on a young dead man's chest until he showed signs of life, and now he sees the light. There's a steamboat leaving for the stars. It's time for us to ascend. But we don't know where we're coming from. Sure enough. Western troubadour by the bay shore coming around. And your warm wind was a godsend. There's new life in this town. For the first time there's southern gentlemen and the bells are ringing high. Oh, I do believe that we're leaving the past by and by. Oh, so pack up the ponies, we're leaving. Oh, there's a bandit behind every tree. Got a fistful of fight, but I'm leaving tonight. 'Cause fighting never set nobody free. Nobody's free. There's a steamboat leaving for the stars, Lord, and it's time for us to sing. We don't know where we're coming from, sure know where we've been, but we don't know where we're coming from, sure know where we've been. I know y'all may have something you want to say, but I just want to introduce this song because when Diane told me she wanted us to do this song, and I listened to it, and I thought it's a Gregorian chant kind of thing, and I'm like, dude. And then I said, well, can we kind of like R&B it up or anything? She said, yeah, do what you want with it. So that's right. We tried it, but that didn't work either. So we came up with our own version, and it's a song. I think it was written in 1600s, something like that. Of course, leave it to Mac to go back and grab that when there's like millions of songs we could have done from now that I knew already. Right? I mean, of course. That's what he wanted. Somebody has to give us a G. Oh, yeah. Somebody's got to give us a G. Thank you. Be still, my soul, the Lord is on thy side. Yeah. Bear patiently the cross of grief and pain. Leave to thy God to order and provide. Through many changes, faithful he remains. Be still, my soul, thy health, thy heavenly friend, in every way leads to a joyful end. Be still, my soul, when dearest friends depart, and all is darkened in the veil of tears. Then shalt thou better know his love, his heart. Oh, now mysterious thou be bright at last. Be still, my soul, the waves and winds still know his voice, who ruled them while he dwelt below. Be still, my soul. is hastening on, when we shall be forever with the Lord. When disappointment, grief, and fear are gone, sorrow forgot, love's purest joys restored. Be still, my soul, when change and tears are past. All safe and blessed, we shall meet at last. Thank you so much. I love you, Mac.
I'd just like to say a few words. I didn't sing with this group in the 60s. Mac recorded the Valentines in the 60s. I started singing with the group in 2005. And I've never met a person like Mac. Never. I recorded with my group back in the 60s for Horse Allen, but I've never met a person that you could bank on his words. He told y'all have to excuse me. He told Paul that I'm gonna record you all again. Well, if you've been in music as long as I have been in music, and we have been in music, you know that some things you take, But Mac has never told me anything that he didn't mean. Mac wrote every song on our CD, old school new, except one, and did a magnificent job. Had everything ready when we went in the studio. He knew what he wanted. There was no doubting what he wanted. He could play, he could sing. He just mentored us to a point that you wouldn't even believe. I love Mac Gayden. One of his favorite songs. Leaving her when they go. I went away just when you needed me so. Filled with regret, I come back begging you. Forgive, forget, where's the love we once knew? Open up your eyes, then you realize, here I stand with my everlasting love. Need you by my side, girl, to be my bride. You'll never be denied everlasting love. When other loves are gone, ours will be strong. We'll have our very own everlasting love. Your love to last forever. Your love to last forever. Where life rivers flows, no one really knows. Just someone's there to show the way the lasting love. Like the sun shines, on the sea it shines. The love it will be mine, it's eternal love. Need you by my side, girl, to be my bride. You'll never be denied everlasting love. the sun shines, on the sea shines, the love that will be mine. Every time I love, need you by my side, girl, to be my bride. You'll never be denied.